After your hair is all blown out, we can begin working on our side part. Now, side part placement is very important. When you do the parting too far over, it's going to cause height in the hair. As you can see, there's a lot of height on my left side, right side, whichever side that is, due to the part being so far over. And I want a very natural falling. I don't want to add height, a lot of height to my head. So just by placing it a little bit over makes it all the better. And then also you really want to curve your parting because our skull, our head has a natural curve in it, so it just looks better and fall better when you can have a curved part. After you know where you're going to place your parting, you want to then go ahead and section off your leave outs. When it comes to my hairline, I like to leave out my baby hairs, the softer hairs. I don't want to add too much tension on them, so I always leave them out. And for the middle parting or side parting, a little bit, about an inch or less. And then since this is a quick weave, I'm using, as you can see, very large braids as my base. For me, since I know I'm only going to keep this hairstyle in for a short period of time, due to the fact that I am tired of having to moisturize and wet my natural hair just to style it in a bun every day, the size of my braids are no biggie. So once you get your braids done, you can go ahead and begin with your cap and your protective shield. Now, I know y'all see a lot of different types of foundation for quick weaves, but as a licensed professional, I promise you less is more. And the less you use thread, wrapping paper, all that stuff, the easier it is going to be to remove your quick weave. I know a lot of people take those extra steps because they want to leave their quick weave in for a longer period of time, but a quick weave is just meant to be quick to put in, quick to take off, and only to be worn for a quick amount of time. Y'all shouldn't be wanting y'all quick weaves to last you 2 to 3 months. That's just so you put your cap on, you put your bond on, and you sit up under the dryer, allow it to thoroughly dry, and then it will hold all on its own. Now, what that shield does is supposed to create a barrier between your natural hair and the glue, because we all know the residue from the glue has this weird, sticky, greasy feeling that is really sometimes hard to get out of the hair. And what that bond shield does, it prevents that residue from getting onto your hair. So when you go to wash your hair, you shouldn't have nothing left over. Now, the way I'm going to be placing down my wefts, I'm going to start framing my face first. Now, I am doing a highlighted method. So because I am not coloring my natural hair, the first tracks that I'm going to place down on my face that is going to be used to blend my edges is a weft that is the color of my hair. So 1B, a black or natural color is what I am using, and then I'm going to go in and begin highlights. Now, I definitely want my highlights to be subtle. I want them to be dimensional, and I don't want them to be crazy obvious that I just simply stuck some blonde tracks in there into a quick weave or whatever the case may be. So placement and how much, the amount of blonde and brown that I am using is the key. So yes, I am also using a dark brown with a highlighted blonde as well for my highlight look today. And the reason why I'm using and choosing to do 2 different colors instead of just straight up blonde or this highlighted blonde, the reason why I'm adding this very dark deep brown into the mix as well, because it's what's going to create some type of balance between the blonde as well as the black, because I don't want the black or the blonde up against the black and it's very harsh and it looks unnatural. So in real time, when people are getting balayage or even highlight low lights, dark hair to lift very brightly is an aggressive process. So me adding the brown adds some type of middle ground as well to the quick weave to the look. Is going to create balance and it's going to create dimensional. And I love when I see highlights, there's multiple colors in the highlight. It's not just black and blonde, it's black, blonde, brown, some tone blonde in there. Like that eats, that highlight look eats. And in real life, it looks very, very natural, and you can't even tell that it's not, the hair wasn't customized professionally or the color wasn't customized professionally. Well, these colors are customized professionally, but what I meant as if it's, they weren't hand painted highlights and lowlights. So let's talk about placement, because that's very, very important. So usually I like to, as you can see, I'm going in a way that is framing my head, and I'm going to leave just enough at the top to where I'm not going to put any color or anything right there, because I'm going to go in with the black. So when it comes to the amounts of blonde and brown you want to use, you don't want to go super crazy. You really want just enough, and you really want balance, and you want to go in and you want to add that black. So I would say do black and then 1 brown and then 1 blonde, and then go in, add your black. And sometimes you're going to need to add black twice and then go back to the pattern of your brown and the blonde and then black, do 2 black tracks and then go in and do, so that way it's just not heavy blonde, it's not super bright, and you're still able to blend your leave out into the look without it causing like a harsh demarcation line because of the difference of the colors. Also, hope y'all was paying attention to the way that I was placing the blonde and the black in there, because as you can see, I have color showing up in this front part of my hair, but not a lot, right? And that's very intentionally done, because as I stated, I still want to be able to blend my leave out. So that's why y'all saw that I would bring the black tracks over a lot further into, the area of where I'm going to do my blending, where the leave out is going to meet it, versus bringing the blonde up there a lot as well. Now, you can absolutely add more blonde to the top if you want to go for a brighter look. As I stated, I wanted something subtle. I wanted a low light highlight type of look instead of a blonde look. And it is a difference of how much black you add or how much blonde you have can easily take it from a low light highlight look to an actual blonde look. And after you straighten your leave out into your hair, that is only part one of blending. And let me show you, I'm gonna teach y'all a little something about hair cutting. I'm a cosmetologist and I get down with some shears. Y'all see that where my leave out is way shorter than here? That is now going to be my guideline. What is a guideline? A guideline shows us where we're supposed to cut, okay? It gives us some sense of direction. I start my layers always from the point of where my leave out ends. Why? Because I don't like it when you can clearly tell like the leave out is super short and then the extension hair is super long. Like it's very obvious that it's, so adding those layers help soften that transition between your hair and the extension hair. So I'm not done with the cutting because we're gonna do some more cutting, some more layers, but I'm gonna go ahead and, of course, I gotta go through and straighten the hair before I curl it, because all I did was wash it and let it air dry. Okay, so I'm not going to show the whole entire clip of me straightening, but now that we did that, let's go ahead and get into this cutting. You want to pull the hair out. You got to pull it out, grab you some pieces, right? You got to pull the hair out, and like I was telling y'all about that guideline, that's where we're going to begin to cut. And because I want my hair to be able to swoop over, I want to have some movement in this front, I'm going to take the hair in the front and I'm going to cut it with the guidelines that I've been creating. So you got to really pull that hair out and you got to cut, baby. You got to cut it, right? But I am going to cut it in a downward motion instead of a straight across, because when you cut it straight across, you're going to make the hair shorter. So I'm just going to use the guideline that I created when I did my face framing layers and just cut in a downward way. It's so hard to explain, y'all. I really wish I could explain it better. But we're going to start from that shorter piece. That shorter piece is going to show us where we're going to cut first. And because I wanted to keep length, instead of having all those cut at that very short length, I'm going to allow it to gradually get longer. So we're going to start at that shortest point, right? That's going to be our guideline of where we begin to cut. And then as we cut downward to create some layers and keep a little bit of length, we're going to allow it to keep some length as we cut downward. This is how we give our hair shape. We give it some type of movement. And of course, what we do to one side, we got to do to the other side, because we want harmony. We want balance in our shape. So as you can see, I'm finding it on the other side, pulling that hair out, starting from the shortest part. And this I'm actually doing in a more straightward way, because I want my other side to be more of that bang, and I just want this to be, Now I'm going to take my hot comb and just finish blending and softening my edges a bit, and then I'm going to go in with my XL Baby Bliss. Is it Babliss actually? Babliss Barrel. It is a size 1.25, I believe, which I really love. This is like a very good size. It makes the hair, it gives it a lot of volume. It's not too big and it's not too small. I feel like it's perfect in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and curl this, and we're going to pin up our curls. Now all your pins at the top, you want to make sure that the clamp is on top, and then for the ones around your face, like this one by my ear, the clamp will be on the bottom, so that way the curl, when I pin it, will actually be on top versus under. And you just want to go in and curl and then pin them so they can cool and they can set. Now I'm not going to show y'all the whole head of me curling, but if y'all want more details in a video fully dedicated to curling and learning to curl, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I can definitely go ahead and